Hi guys, so as a school administrator, it's really important that you're well groomed. It's so important. I can't even stress it enough. So a lot of people do not understand that you really are what people see. That's the truth. You are what people see. A lot of people, before they get close to knowing what you're about, they kind of see your physical image and decide whether or not they want to listen to you, whether or not they're going to take your advice, sadly, whether or not they're going to respect you. I think it takes about 20 seconds for people to make up their minds. And now if I sit down and don't say anything for 20 seconds, you're going to wonder if something has happened to me. Yeah. So 20 seconds might seem a really short time, but it's a really long time. Okay, so 20 seconds is all it takes. So you want to make sure that that 20 seconds is power packed. All right. So we're going to be talking about your grooming today. Your grooming has to do with your hair, your nails, your clothing, your shoes. Okay. It's really important that all of these elements, basically top to toes, are well groomed. So let's look at the shoes. Okay. So your shoes, for example, you need to be looking at what? For both male and female, you need to be looking at the quality of the shoes. It doesn't have to be expensive. So what you need to understand is you need to polish it properly. If you do not have your own car, then when you come out of public transport, even if it's a bike that you took to work, honestly, it doesn't matter. The important thing is that you have gotten to work. Have a napkin that you use to wipe your shoes so that it is not dusty, because you might just be coming down from that bike and you walk right into a parent and they look down and they see your dusty shoes. So always have a napkin handy, and it might be nice if it's like wipes. So they're cheap wipes that you can buy. There are all these wipes that are a pack of 3 and it's cheaper, so you can actually just have that and use it to wipe your shoes so it looks nice and shiny. If you're coming to school with a bike, for example, I don't think you should come or get off the bike right in front of your school. So maybe do it, come down, let the bike stop you 2 houses from your gate or 2 gates from your gate, so that you can then stroll down and you've groomed, wiped your shoes and done all of that before you walk to your building and have to confront your parents. Okay, so those are your shoes. You also need to understand that the heel of your shoe is really important. If your heel is pulled off, is ripped off for a woman, or even for a man, they're cobblers, honestly. They walk around the road. Just call one of them and have them fix your heel for you. Your heel is very important. And then there are certain shoes that you wear and it's crooked, it's bent. You don't want to wear that. Have one good pair of shoes and know that those pair of shoes are good, and invest in your shoes. Okay, so I'm not saying buy a shoe that breaks a bank, but I'm not saying be vain either, but I'm saying that you need to look good. You're the school administrator, you're in leadership. Even if you're a key stage administrator, you're going to be dealing with parents, you're going to be dealing with visitors. You do really want to look good. Okay, so that's one advice I have for you with respect to your shoes. Of course, you can then go up into your hair. Okay, so that's another area. I'm not saying get a wig. I'm not saying leave your hair as an afro, male or female. I'm not saying have clean shaven head. No, I'm saying whatever it is you decide that you want to have, make the best of it. Okay, if for example as a man you have very low cut, something that I used to see my brothers do is they had a shoe brush. Even if it was a shoe brush that you use for actually brushing your shoes, they never used it for their shoes, they used it for their hair. So they would always have it handy, and before they go anywhere they kind of use it. And even as I grew up as a woman and I started weaving, well, of course I grew up as a woman, duh. But when I started weaving my hair cornrows, I always had a brush like that as well, and so I would brush it so it looks neat. So even if I didn't maybe have time that week to go and weave my hair, just the fact that I brushed it and I put a little bit of cream, Vaseline or petroleum jelly or something, just rubbed it on my hair and then brushed it, it just stayed in place and looked really nice. All right, so that's something that you can do for your hair. And of course for women, I always say have a wig somewhere. It can be braids, it can be cornrows, it can be hair that looks like this, but just have something, because there are days you have a bad hair day and maybe you want to go in for a meeting. You really don't want to go in for a meeting looking scruffy. Okay, so have that handy, and you can put it on the days you have. Of course, your meetings should be scheduled, and we will talk about scheduling. So have that handy, and then you put on your hair and you look really good. All right, so that's something that you can do for your hair. But if you're clean shaven for a guy, then make sure that it's I don't know, shiny. Do you guys rub stuff on your hair to make it look shiny? Because some guys, I see their hair and it's looking shiny, and I'm always wondering, why is it looking shiny? So I don't know if that's what you do, but if that's what you do, then make it shiny. All right, then of course, if you have an afro for a man or a woman, it should be neat. You shouldn't have hair, it's sticking out, okay? Because it's really not anybody's business, but the reality is you really have to keep up that image, okay? Except of course you're that school where anything goes, you're funky and just yeah. Then if that's what you are, then that's fine. But if that's not who you are as an institution, and people who are coming to see you are not that way either, you're going to have to meet them halfway, because you do want people to take you seriously, okay? You want people to come back to your institution. You don't want to have the wrong reputation out there or create the wrong signals that you're sending out, okay? So it's really, really important that you have that aspect of your grooming correct, because guess what? People are going to be looking at you, right, when you're speaking. So you really want to have that part down. Another thing that you need to look at is your eyes. So if I take off my glasses, this buds here in your eyes, sometimes you actually have eye buggies in there. So from time to time, you need to check to make sure. Now, for a woman, it's easy for us to have a little compact in our bags, but for a man, your phones have a camera, so you can look in there and peer into it and be sure that all the eye buggies are gone, okay? And it has nothing to do with whether you had a good bath or not. Sometimes those eye buggies, I don't even know where they come from, but they're there. So of course you don't want them to be there when you're having a conversation with somebody, so check that it's there. And then if it's after lunch or after a really nice breakfast, check your teeth, because sometimes you can have food stuck in your teeth and you can't be talking to somebody and then there's vegetables dangling, or all sorts of funny looking colors hanging from your teeth. All right, so always check that. Again, you can just peek in your phone. And another thing that you need to have in terms of grooming is mints. So have a pack of mints handy. It can be sweet, it can be gum, and you just quickly chew it, freshen that breath and then you can take it out, because you shouldn't really have gum in your mouth when you're talking with parents. But we will talk about that when we go into a communication angle. So that's all I'm going to talk about today, and I do hope that you've picked up a lot of things that you can use in your personal journey as a school administrator or a member of the leadership team. Now, this was good content, so guess what? You do want to subscribe to this channel, because there's always something fresh, there's always something great for you here. So I will see you in my next video. Goodbye. And yes, subscribe and like and drop a comment for me. I do like hearing from you.